everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Lydia here. So if you're new to this channel, I just usually share some of the things that I used to change my lifestyle in the past 2 years by building a healthy routine, by going to the gym, and by reading more books. And occasionally I share some of the things that are happening in Hong Kong. Today, this video is special because one of my best friends is coming to Hong Kong, so this is for her. I think a lot of people are drawn to Hong Kong because this is the connection between the East and the West. I think Hong Kong is more than just the buildings. It's also about the people here. It's about the diversity of culture here. Hong Kong, you can name many things. It's never tired, it never stops. This video is going to be two parts. The first part is what's my impression about Hong Kong. The second part is the apps or memberships that's very useful for you to get around in Hong Kong. It's only you who can help yourself to explore the city. So this video, I am doing it for my friends, but also for a lot of lovely people out there who are drawn to this city so that you can explore the city as the best as you can. I hope you can find this video helpful, and let's dive right into it. First thing first, if you ask one thing about Hong Kong, I would say convenience. I have lived in some of the other cities. I think Hong Kong is definitely one of the most convenient cities. Speaking of convenience, we have to talk about the MTR system. It's clean, it's fast, and I actually have never afraid that missing one train and be late, because I know that almost always in the rush hours the next train will be like 2 minutes away. Most of my friends or the expats who just live like around 5 subway stations areas, we are talking about door to door, it only takes like 20 or most 30 minutes. The second is the buses, very on time. You can basically check things online. You have the double deck big buses, and also you have the smaller bus. It takes you to some further areas that to explore the nature. They have a more flexible schedule. So we'll cover the public transportations, then we can see why Hong Kong is so special. Hong Kong, think of it as a combination of New York and San Francisco. Even more than that, because Hong Kong is, you have all those benefits of a big city. Just right away you can take a subway like 1 station away, and then you can do a little bit of hike in the middle of the city. If you really want to go to nature, you also take the public transportations. It's very different from other big cities. You can take the subway, before you know you're already at the beach, and you can also take the ferries. It's just right over there and near the central pier. So it depends on what kind of life you want to live. This place offers you loads of options. After we talk about nature, let me talk to you about the city itself. Most of my friends that I know and most of the expats actually live on the Hong Kong Island side, the financial district in Central, that people actually arrange their lives around it. And there's another hub, Quarry Bay. There are a lot of companies also move there. On the other side, over that side, the West Kowloon side, so that's are the places. If you come to Hong Kong, if you're going to work in one of those main industries, you're going to live. But Hong Kong is definitely more than that. Especially last year, I got this opportunity to just explore Hong Kong, being able to take a little bit of smaller trips around Hong Kong. Every single time when I went to a new place, like some of the places, it feels like you walk into a European country. On the other side, if you explore on Mong Kok and all those places, it's super local. You're walking in 1980s Hong Kong movie. I would say this place is really diverse just by the city itself. And then we talked about the people. What amazed me about Hong Kong is how diverse the culture it is and how diverse everybody's experience is. But at the same time, people have so much in common. Here you can basically find whoever you want to be with. I can almost certainly guarantee you'll find your own tribe here. If you're one of those persons who are like super outdoor, you can find a group of people. If you're one of those people who are like really appreciate arts, you can find those art exhibitions and auctions. And if you are just normal person who are like me, sometimes I'm a foodie, just living my normal life, trying to get a little bit of relaxing lifestyle besides my work. Loads of restaurants and cafes, and even meet people just by simply saying hi. Here, people do understand each other's culture, and people are trying their best to learn each other's culture. I've met many people who speak multiple languages because here it's just the connection of West and East. So it almost makes natural for people to try to learn things that you might not think is part of their culture. That's the first part. First, it's super convenience, and second, it's a great combination of city and the nature. And third part is I love it because it's very diverse. The second part is about how to get around, starting from where to eat to the public transportation, the helpful apps that you can use. First thing first, if you want to find somewhere to eat, I am a foodie. The very useful thing is Instagram. You would never think of using Instagram to find places to eat. Instagram is nowadays one of the social media that all of those new restaurants, they're going to market themselves. So even before they're open, instead do a little bit of effort by training your Instagram's algorithm. That's what I do. Nowadays, algorithms run our lives. But we, as human beings, need to do a little bit of jobs to train the algorithm so that they help us the best way. This is how I do with Instagram. Usually when you open Instagram, it has friends, updates, and the second button is like a search button here. It's discovery. My feed is mostly books and restaurants. How did I reach to this point? So let me show you. You just need to tell Instagram what kind of posts you like and what kind of posts you don't like. This is my Instagram's feed. It's mostly like food and book videos. If I don't want to watch any of, then I can click it and click the not interested. And then it's gone. You just need to mindfully train your algorithm, and after a while, maybe like a week, you see all your feeds are the restaurants based on what you have posted or what you have liked. You might not want to use Instagram this way. It's just the way that I use it. First, I'm going to train my Instagram's algorithm, and then I find out the restaurants that I like, and I can click into their page. Then you see that whether I want to try or not. And also you can talk to them, right? Like, sometimes they reply. I found it's way more helpful, way more convenient. The second app is the MTR app. Might not be necessary because it's so convenient. You can basically just walk into any of the MTR and see the route. But there's one function. A lot of my friends have been here for a long time. Whenever I show this function to them, they're still like, oh, I didn't know that. This is so amazing. You have this trip planner. If I'm going from Causeway Bay to, say, Central, and then they will give you a suggested route, and then here's the secret weapon. It's called fast exit. And then you can choose whichever exit that you're trying to exit for your destination. Say for example, we're going to exit at an H. This app is going to tell you which car of the train that is the most convenient car for you to get on. This is the function that every time when I talk to people, and I figure I still find it so amazing. They have this function because whenever I try to use this, they almost guarantee I will be so close to any of the elevators that's going to get you out that level. It saves you a lot of time. Another app is called Hong Kong Taxi. First thing, in Hong Kong, you can basically just grab any taxi in the streets, but Hong Kong Taxi is just designed for you. If you just call a taxi on your mobile, it offers me an option whenever I don't have cash on me. In the past, the idea of accepting cash is just not that common. But after the pandemic, the people's acceptance of Hong Kong Taxi is very useful, and it's more convenient to use because more and more taxi drivers are signing up for this platform. Make sure that you link your credit card to this app. They actually encourage the system for the taxi drivers to take on the orders by credit card. So after we cover what's on the ground, let's cover some of the things that in the past would be super normal in Hong Kong, right? Because it's an international hub. Travel because you need to work. You can travel to Southeast Asia or other countries that's nearby, and you enjoy a vacation just by 2 or 3 days. That's super normal in the past, but let's get ready to go back to our new normal. After the pandemic, we can travel again. How can you take the most advantage of the travel programs? One thing I wish I've known earlier, the airlines here, the huge one is Cathay Pacific. The Asia Miles is the rewards program offered by Cathay Pacific. You can accumulate miles when you're spending in certain shops or when you're using some credit cards. One thing that also the people find it surprising is that's not the only part about Cathay Pacific. Another program called Marco Polo Club. It's a loyalty points program. It's not that if once you're on your Asia Miles, you are automatically on Marco Polo. Just make sure that you have your Marco Polo program properly started, because those are the points that's going to help you. If your work requires you to travel a lot, it's going to accumulate the points to move up to the tiers from green, silver, gold to diamond. At the end, you have a lot of benefits. More earlier, you get access to the lounge. Make sure that you do it before you travel. It's going to be very practical and helpful. And finally, after we talk about flying, let's get back to the ground. Talk about some of the virtual banks. Two apps, the Mox Bank, and the other is the ZA Bank, it's ZA Bank. Those are the two virtual banks that's very popular these days in Hong Kong. One of the benefits is that if you're moving to Hong Kong or you're just out of school, it takes time for you to get a proper credit card from any of the big banks. Within that time, of course, you don't want to get many credit cards, but if you're in a hurry, then Mox Bank and ZA Bank, they're super fast because they are virtual banks and they offers a lot of perks. They sometimes work with things like Hong Kong Taxi. They work with delivery apps to offer you cashback space, and then if you're inviting your friends, maybe you can get something. There are two main delivery apps in Hong Kong, Deliveroo, Foodpanda. Those two, I just use it interchangeably. So that brings us to the end of this video. Last but not least, I want to say that Hong Kong is many things, and there used to be a time I hate everything about Hong Kong. There used to be a time that I was so depressed at work that I don't want to really explore this place. Now I love everything about Hong Kong, and I think this city really offers you everything. Just open your heart and open your mind. Go out and explore, have fun. Take a curious mindset with you. Talk to people, learn about their backstories. Now Hong Kong has become part of me, and I will take this together with me wherever I will be in the future. I hope that it's gonna be part of you in your experience. Whenever you're coming here, just for traveling or work, it will take a few years to explore this amazing city. So that's the end of this video, and if you like it, please give me a thumbs up, share it with your friend. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. I'll share a lot more in the future. See you next time.